Hello and welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. The movie The Kerala Story is making waves both at the box office and on social media. At the box office, it's already collected 35 crores on the opening weekend, which is big for a small movie without any big movie stars. But it's also turning out to be a lightning rod in the political discourse. The state of Bengal has now decided to ban the film, while in Tamil Nadu, distributors are refusing to exhibit the film in what is construed as an unofficial boycott of sorts. Why is there this resorting to a ban culture? If you don't like the movie, don't watch the movie. But how does banning anything, whether it is a movie or a book, help solve any problem? That's what we will focus on Brass Tacks, but first, the story so far.
युवाओं को पहले प्रेरित करना, गलत रास्ते पर ले जाना और फिर गलत रास्ते में धकेल देना, ये इसको उजागर करता है.
This will help us to, create more awareness and restrict the recruitment drive of these terrorist organization. Why not?
I don't think there is any need to do any politics on this. As usually, BJP is doing politics and trying to divide people.
I will request the state government chief minister. Very sad that your party is working with BJP, and that BJP is showing the Kerala files a distorted stories.
Lakhs of people have seen the film in Bengal. Theaters are running house full. People are watching the film in big numbers.
So the movie The Kerala Story was released last Friday, and it's already created quite a stir in Kerala. Despite the High Court refusing to stay the release of the film, there were multiple protests by youth groups. Kerala's ruling CPIM and opposition Congress have accused the filmmakers of deliberately exaggerating and peddling a hidden agenda. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has said that propaganda films are simply a bid by the right wing to make inroads in Kerala. In neighbouring Tamil Nadu, multiplexes in the state have stopped screening The Kerala Story after protests in a few cities by Muslim political groups and other political parties, including the Nam Tamil Katchi. The Tamil Nadu Theatre and Multiplex Owners Association claims the decision was taken to maintain law and order and to protect the cinema halls. Now, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has announced that the film will not be screened in the state in order to avoid any untoward incident or any incident of hatred and violence and to maintain peace in the state. Mamata Banerjee claims that the film was created to defame the entire state of Kerala. But what is the fuss around Kerala Story all about? What is the film's script and its storyline? The trailer of the film claims that there are more than 30,000 women in Kerala who were converted and inducted into ISIS. But last week, the promo was changed to the true stories of 3 young girls from different parts of Kerala. The film is also about alleged radicalization and conversion of young Hindu women to Islam in Kerala, that they were trapped by love jihad. The movie shows that these young women go missing. They are later inducted into the terrorist outfit, the Islamic State. Now, last week, Prime Minister Modi brought up The Kerala Story during his campaign in Karnataka and accused the Congress of bowing to terror groups.
उस केरला के में चल रही आतंकी साजिश का खुलासा ये केरला स्टोरी फिल्म में उसे किया गया है. कांग्रेस आज समाज को तहस नहस करने वाली इस आतंकी प्रवृत्ति के साथ खड़ी हुई नजर आ रही है.
Meanwhile, the movie has set the box office on fire. On day one of its release, that is the 5th of May last Friday, The Kerala Story earned about 8 crores. The following day, the film minted about 11 crores at the box office. And then there has been a steady growth of about 30%. The Kerala Story earned 16 crores on Sunday. The film is all set to be a hit with a budget of just 40 crores. It's already made 35 crores in 3 days of the opening weekend. I want to first go across to Vipul Shah, who's the producer of this film, the maker of this film. Thank you very much, Mr. Shah, for joining us. We've just got the information today that Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister, has decided not to allow the broadcast of your movie, saying that it's propaganda, that it's detrimental to law and order in the state. How would you respond to Bengal and the Bengal Chief Minister's decision to ban your movie in that state?
So the simple thing is that the movie has been running for last 3.5 days, and it has been running to pack houses. Thousands and thousands of people have seen the film in Bengal already, and there is not a single incidence of any kind of disturbance. And when I got the news, I immediately checked with my distributor that is there any kind of disturbance because of which sudden disturbance which has led to this kind of decision. And he said he checked with all the theater owners and he came back to me and he said no, there is nothing of that sort.
Okay.
So I am not able to understand that for 3.5 days, if the film has run successfully and peacefully and people have loved it and emotionally connected with it on such a big level, then I don't understand how suddenly it has become a law and order disturbance. I'm not able to understand it. Maybe you can explain it to me.
But tell me, Mr. Shah, what is also being cited, it's not just Bengal, which has now banned your movie, but also states like Tamil Nadu, where there seems to be an unofficial ban because theatre owners are saying there is no footfalls, they don't want to take a chance, etc. The reasons that are being cited by these folks is yours is a propaganda movie, it demonizes one state, it demonizes one entire community, and potentially it could lead to some kind of violence. What do you have to say to that?
We've made it clear, amply clear, time and again, that this film is not against any community, any religion, or even the state of Kerala. It's against none. It's against terror. And if I thought that when we are making this kind of a film, we'll be applauded for exposing the terror network, showing the courage to expose the terror network at this level with such honesty and such boldness. But instead of that, now we are being told that we are a propaganda film.
Okay.
I don't know how to answer to that. The only answer I can think of is that go and see those females who are coming out of the cinema hall and crying and connecting with the problem. And there are so many stories. Day before yesterday, on Saturday, there was a woman in one of the theaters in Goregaon. She got so emotional that the film had to be stopped for 10 minutes because her daughter went through a similar situation.
Okay.
And she had to be consoled. And once she calmed down, the film restarted. Now, a propaganda film, I'm sure you will understand, cannot have this kind of a real connect. That's my only answer as a filmmaker.
Okay.
That when your film is genuinely connecting with the people of the nation, it cannot be a propaganda film. We've seen in the past, propaganda films come and they mushroom for a weekend and then they disappear.
But
that's not the case with this film. Today, the number of people watching this film is much higher than Friday.
So the other point that the critics of this film say is that, you know, what is being depicted in the film is far away from reality, and the truth is there might be a few hundred cases of people converting or being converted forcibly to Islam and then being taken to fight for ISIS in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, etc. But you make it a completely absurd and exaggerated claim that there are more than 30,000 such cases. So what the reality is and what you have portrayed, one is an exaggerated version of the other. How do you respond to that?
See, what happened is that was the only argument they had against the film before the film released, right? And in 3.5 days, there are millions of reactions from various people on social media where nobody has talked about 32,000 number or number is less or more. What they are saying is that, oh my God, if this is happening in our own country, we need to stand up and protect our daughters. So the film is connecting with people on a human level. Now, when that propaganda did not get the desired result, maybe showing a law and order situation is another way to, kind of stop us from showing the film to millions of people who want to see the film. That's what I think. And I don't know how else to respond to these constant allegations, which mean nothing actually.
All
They're
right.
just thrown at us to discredit us.
Okay, these allegations have been thrown at you to discredit you. We'll leave it at that. Vipul Shah, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Brass Tacks. We'll see how your movie continues to do, both at the box office and, of course, on social media chatter. Meanwhile, let's open this up to our panelists who are joining us, because clearly this has now become political, with Bengal deciding to ban the screening of this film. In Tamil Nadu, distributors and exhibitors are loath to screening this film. So is there an unofficial and sometimes even an official ban that's being played out in the case of the Kerala story? Ajay Alok is BJP spokesperson. Will be joined in a moment by Babul Supriyo, who is a cabinet minister in the state of Bengal. Professor Dinesh Varshini is leader of the CPI. Ajay Alok, again, the point that Mamata Banerjee made when she announced this evening that she's banning this film is that this is a propaganda movie and it demonizes one community and an entire state, and she can't afford to have law and order situation basis a movie, therefore she's banning it. Does that reasoning and that rationale cut ice? If it doesn't, why?
Well, I guess Mamata Banerjee thinks that she is superior than Supreme Court. When Supreme Court refused to ban, and then she decides to ban. So I think it's a classical case of Muslim appeasement, where she's scared of CPM and Congress that they shouldn't eat the vote share of Muslims. So to just to get out of it and to show that how much sympathy she has for the sect, she decided to ban it, anticipating that the entire Muslim votes will come into her pocket. Like what Congress is doing in Karnataka, she did it in West Bengal. Like what Stalin did it in Tamil Nadu. So this is the whole problem of Muslim appeasement. See, this is not terrorism where you listen to that bomb scare or some gunshots or people being killed. This is silent terrorism. This is silent social terrorism which is happening in the country, and Kerala story is just a name. It's not happening in one state. It's happening everywhere, particularly in West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee knows that this is happening, and if this movie is screened regularly on a regular basis, what impact it will have among Hindu society, among Christian society. Because it's not only Hindus who are being suffered, even the Christian minority are being suffered. And it's not only India, it's happening simultaneously. It's happening in India, UK, New Zealand, Fiji, Germany, US, everywhere there's a complaint.
Okay. So let me ask Professor Dinesh Varshini, you know, Ajay Alok has a point in as much as the Supreme Court was moved last week for an urgent hearing to stay the release of this film. The court refused to intervene. The matter went to the Kerala High Court. Again, a detailed hearing happened, and one of the judges who was hearing that matter basically said, if you don't want to watch the movie, don't watch the movie, but don't, there's no question of banning a movie. Whenever there is a ban on anything, a movie or a book, left parties like yourself are the first to jump saying, what does a ban achieve? Now will you say the same thing?
Look, Jakka, this is a question of understanding the thing in perspective. As and when the election comes, the toolkit of the BJP RSS becomes active. And unfortunately, the Prime Minister of the country himself is giving a statement of promoting the film, which is the lie story of the Kerala. You yourself has asked a question to the toolkit of Bipin Shah that earlier he was saying 32,000, now he said 3. Are Baba, 3 can even join from Maharashtra. Did it from Dhruv Saxena of ISI agent of RSS in Madhya Pradesh, Balram in Madhya Pradesh, in UP, in Punjab, everywhere. What is this? And do you mean to say, shall we allow to disturb the communal harmony of the Kerala or Bengal or any other state?
No, but fact is, sir, this movie has been running across. Sir, one second.
Theory of BJP RSS has become a toolkit of them.
This movie has been running in Bengal and in other parts of the country for the last 3 days. So far, I have not heard of any reported incidents of violence. But let me also bring in Babul Supriyo. I believe his line is just being patched through. He's a cabinet minister in the state of West Bengal. Thank you very much, Mr. Supriyo, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. What is the rationale of banning a movie that's already playing in the screens for the last 3 days? And as far as I can tell, There have been no instances of violence either in Kolkata or any other part of Bengal. So why has the Chief Minister and your state government decided to ban this movie today?
Well, you see, you're talking about the 3-day thing, 3-day silence or the act being taken after 3 days. I can give you a very easy example of Amit Shah speaking about Manipur after 3 days. He was silent for 3 days when some people wanted to hear some words of assurance from him. But that's not the topic of the debate today. I think that, an artist is an artist when he limits his imagination or his artistry within the limit of usage of freedom of speech in the most appropriate manner. It is entertainment is not only about making something for the people to see, but it is also being responsible and trying to bring harmony in the way of the film, or to spread entertainment, some kind of message, good message for the society, but not to create rift or dig into or pinch into wounds that can only create unrest in the society. In 1947, it was decided that India is going to be a secular country, and based on that, I do not, even if no matter which party I was, I do not believe in films like Kashmir Files. I do not believe in films like Kerala Story, because it can only create unrest between two communities. And when I say that, I say it with the fact that, what happened in Kashmir was definitely not correct. But having said that, with Kerala Story, with Kashmir Files, we have seen that, you may have shown some gory, some facts from the past. But will it be nice if in retaliation someone makes a film on Babri Masjid? You tell me. That was broken up by. That was also broken down. It will only create unrest if Pradhan Mantri ji is talking about Ram Rajya. This is the last thing that he should promote or he should propagate. What's the reason for it?
But Mr. Supriyo, can I ask you a question?
Directors who came to one last line.
Okay.
When the foreign directors came to India, they saw Kashmir Files and they said it was a propaganda film and it was pretty nauseating and to see that film through.
Okay.
We are all aware of that.
So that was the head of the international jury who said that.
Yes.
But no. Can I ask one thing?
Tomorrow, when everything about Kerala Files is going to be shown, I know what the facts are. Every online channel will claim the facts have not been verified, and I'm seeing that today itself. Zaka, this is what I'm seeing today.
No,
Let's be logical.
I
don't think India needs more unrest in the society right now.
If people don't like a movie for whatever reason, it's not been made well, or it's not true to facts, or it's exaggerated, whatever it is, aren't the people of this country and the people of Bengal wise enough to decide if they don't want to watch something, they will not watch something? But by banning something, you're only making the curiosity of it much, much more. And two, in this day and age when stuff releases on OTT, how can you say that, law and order is going to get disrupted, or social harmony is going to get disrupted, therefore we're banning it in theaters? Surely State of Bengal can't ban this movie tomorrow if it's going to be released on OTT.
So did the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, did they agree to everything that has been shown, that is being shown on OTT? Do I agree with everything that is shown on OTT platforms? Do I really believe that my children, they go to sleep at 10 in the night and I can watch movies, the kind of movies that are showing in OTT? Didn't the BJP government contemplate? I was the deputy of Prakash Javadekar ji, who was the then IT minister, who was the then IB minister. Do you think that what is being shown in OTT, there should be some kind of censorship in that? I'm not talking about cutting down films and doing some Talibani approach. No, but don't you think that there needs to be some? If you are at home and you have your film, we don't have Netflix and everything put on parental guide all the time. Don't you think there should be? Isn't it BJP who said that OTT films, they are crossing the border, and there needs to be some kind of censorship on that? Didn't you talk about it? I think that things which can spread disharmony in the society. What is the need of making such films? Why didn't you? I'm telling you that tomorrow someone will come up and make a film on Babri Masjid, on Godhra. What will you do about it?
Okay, Ajay Alok, respond.
Will it take India a few steps forward? And I'm saying this as an artist. When I make a song, when I make something, I want 100% people to see it. But when I make that, I also keep that in mind, that is my content, can it bring those 100 people together? If it is no, then I'm not being an artist, I'm not being a filmmaker, I'm being an irresponsible person who's trying to sell controversy to garner money at the box.
Two questions being
That's my
asked.
clear
Two
view.
questions being
That's my
asked
clear
by
view.
Mr. Supriyo. One is, this is a movie that is out and out, spreading propaganda and hate, and it's going to create communal disharmony in his state. Therefore, the chief minister has decided to ban its screening. And secondly, he's also saying that artists also have a responsibility. It's not just about blindly putting up anything and everything that you feel will sell. It's also a responsibility towards society. How will you respond to both those points?
Yes, pretty right. But just for his general knowledge, for Mr. Babul Supriyo, I'd like to remind him that there was a movie on Babri Masjid.
Be respectful. Please don't say general knowledge and all that. No, don't.
There was
personal comments.
There was a movie on Mumbai riots. There was a movie on Gujarat riots, and all the artists performed. Now, in the name of social harmony, this movie is not about social harmony or about Hindu or Muslims. This movie is about somebody getting converted to ISIS terrorist. And if they are either they are terrorist wives or they are used as sex slaves.
How many Indians?
It's not only about Hindu women. Babulji, listen to me. It's not only about Hindu girls.
Even Muslim women.
It's not only about Hindu girls. Just 1 month back, Bishop Mar Joseph of Silo Malabar Church in Kerala, he held a meeting of his community, and he clearly said that Islamic radicalization is causing a forcible conversion of Christian girls into Muslims, and then they are being taken to Syria for ISIS. Do you think a political party or a chief minister should support terrorist group like ISIS?
Can I respond to that?
It's about Christian also. The similar thing is happening.
Yeah. One second, Babuji. One second. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Very calmly. See,
let me finish.
No, you said something I want to respond to that.
You are.
If you allow,
I'll show how
no problem. I'll wait for you to finish.
Yeah. How irresponsible thing is this, that this movie shows that how a Hindu girl is being forcibly turned into an ISIS activist, and she is married to an ISIS terrorist, and she is forced for doing sex slaving. This is the message of the movie. This is not a message about Hindu and Muslims.
This is
just for your
law and order situation.
Stop it.
Stop it. You are defaming Kerala, and I think that defaming the people of Kerala. I mean, nothing politics about it. Stop it.
It's not. It's not a story about Kerala. This is happening in Bengal. This is happening in Bihar. It's not a Kerala story. This is a global story.
Okay, one at a time. Let Babul now respond to it. No. Babul Supriyo, 1 second. Can I just ask a question? By trying to ban this or trying to, say, oh, it's a movie that is propaganda, a movie that spreads disharmony, are you also not acknowledging the fact that a problem like this exists? You asked for, how many such cases have happened. There is an affidavit that was filed. In fact, there was a statement that was laid out by the Chief Minister, then Chief Minister of the state of Kerala, Mr. V.S. Achudanandan. In that statement, and he's a communist chief minister. He's not a BJP or TMC chief minister. In that statement, this is over 10 years ago, where he said there are 100 such cases of girls being forcibly converted to Muslim. Now, the point is that, okay, no one is saying the scale. The scale may be exaggerated. Maybe the film director, exaggerated the scale. But are you trying to downplay or pretend like such a problem does not exist? Because that problem has existed. It has been documented. It has been laid down in the assembly of the state also.
I am not at all saying that. Let's get into the right perspective. I am saying that there's something called intelligence. There's something called, IB. There's something called where you gather information. And there's so many things happening within the society where, what was the chief minister doing? If he's making such a statement inside the Vidhan Sabha, wherever he made the statement, what was he doing to stop it? Just by laying out facts does not mean that you are washing your hands of it. What did he do? If that is the net total sum that he's talking about, what was he doing when the cases were being, or were the police not loyal to him? They did not bring the facts to his table. So what I'm saying, this kind of, there are so many such problems that happen behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you bring them to the surface, and you create surface tension. And I think that films which has the you know the chances, or films which can create unrest in the society. What happened? Makbul Fida Hussain stayed right next to my house, my Bombay flat, my Bombay apartment. He stayed next to that. He portrayed Hindu gods in a certain manner. He was driven out of the country. So I would say that, in spite of being a huge fan of Makbul Fida Hussain, I met him, he used to come out without shoes. I used to think what he's doing in the such heat. But I would say that, as Makbul Fida Hussain, maybe, definitely, there was no need for him. He had the entire wall to paint. There was no need for him to put those, pictures in that manner. Ukraine did something with Hindu gods. Did anyone support it? Do you think even Muslims will support it? Do you think the Christians will support it? We stand up as Indians against that kind of propaganda, against that kind of thing which defames the country. How much of intelligence do we have about Indian women, whether it is Hindu or it is Muslim, joining the ISIS? We have not really come across such cases where Hindu women needed to be brought back from Syria and all, Iraq, who have joined the ISIS. And we know about such cases that existed in the UK. I'm sure there must be such cases in India as well. But I think, from a law and order perspective, deal with that. Why try to spread unrest by, film may have been made on Godhra, may have been made on Babri Masjid. I really want to know, for general knowledge, did Modi ji allow that to run in Gujarat? May I know? Did he allow the BBC documentary to run in India?
Ajay Alok.
BBC is a credible institution of the world. I'm sorry, the filmmaker isn't. He might be a great filmful.
Okay, let Ajay Alok respond. I mean,
BBC
by the same token, you also banned the BBC documentary. Ajay
Yeah,
Alok.
BBC is a credible documentary. BBC is a credible thing.
Let him respond. Let him respond. Ajay
One
Alok,
last thing. I'm saying the filmmaker, with due respect to him, he's not a BBC. He's not BBC.
Okay,
So
fair
he's
enough.
coming up with certain facts.
So let
which can create
Ajay
unrest
Alok
in a
respond,
secular
please.
country.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah, please respond.
It's good you're speaking like that, because that exposes your hypocrisy. And the good people of Bengal will listen to you. Like, this is what is happening in Bengal. I'm happy about it. You spoke.
Hypocrisy about what?
All right, we just lost the line with Ajay Alok. We'll try and fix that in a moment.
When you don't spread Alok in the right direction, Zaka, you're
No. One second. I mean,
it's poetic justice.
Lines.
What hypocrisy?
Lines do get cut, and then in this case, line got cut. But I come back to the point. No, I come back to the point that you've been a former, INB minister, MOS. Do these bans work? It has never worked. You try to, ban satanic verses. More people ended up reading the book. You tried to ban Da Vinci Code. More people ended up watching that movie. Now you're banning. Ajay Alok is back. Yeah, Ajay Alok. Yeah, you're responding.
Yeah, the line got stuck.
He's back. Let him just respond.
Yeah, there is a documented fact by none other than the world global bodies situated in UK and US that when they have raided the Syria ISIS, they had captured around 5,500 people from Europe, and out of which 78 were Indian girls. And out of that 5,500, 4,000 were minors.
30,000.
NIA is investigating into the case
Why
since
30,000 in the film? Why are they saying 30,000 in the film?
NIA has been investigating the case now. See,
come on,
in the name of
98,
ISIS, you
3,000,
cannot
4,000.
support a terrorist organization.
Okay.
No politician can support a terrorist
3,000.
organization.
3,000, but why
There is no
30,000
basis
is so
of ban
film?
on the name of
Please answer me, sir.
criminalism, because if you ban it,
Alok
it's
ji,
as it is criminal.
Alokpat kariye.
In the name
Alok
of
ji, Alokpat kariye. Why 30,000?
In the name of Muslim appeasement, you are doing it. It's not a matter of number. I'm again telling you.
Ask the
It's happening
communist
in
government.
UK. The UK Home Minister gave a statement yesterday in the Parliament. Do you know that?
But why
Do you know
30,000?
that UK
Why are
Home
you showing
Minister
30,000? Why
Suella
are you
Beckham
exaggerating
gave a
facts?
statement in the Parliament yesterday that this
You know-
British Muslims are converting the Christian and young English girls into Islam. This is and
Stop
they are
it.
taking them into
Stop
ISIS.
it.
It's not a problem,
Stop
a
it.
communal problem that you're converting into
Stop
Islam.
it.
It's a problem.
You are coming-
They
you are
becoming
converting.
terrorists, my dear friend.
Stop it.
You're supporting a
Stop
terrorist
it.
organization like ISIS.
You are
in the name of
supporting the
Muslim
CPIM.
appeasement. This is the problem.
You have
and you
had-
talk of and you compare that to BBC
See.
documentary.
Okay.
You compare that
Why
to
should I
BBC
not?
documentary.
Why should I not? Because BBC documentary spoke
How
about
can
certain
that-
facts of
How
Gujarat.
can that be compared?
That's what it
How
is.
can
That's
that
a
be
problem
compared
for
to
you.
BBC documentary?
This is about the
How
country.
can
That is about
compared
a
a
state.
documentary made
That is-
when Supreme Court has already exonerated. the then Chief Minister, now the Prime Minister, and you are comparing that with the BBC documentary.
The Supreme Court?
And second thing, do you think Mamata Banerjee is more superior to Supreme Court of this country? Do you think that?
An elected government.
No. Do you think she's more supreme than the Supreme Court?
No. I'm sorry. You're getting into a wrong debate.
I'm not getting into a wrong debate. Supreme Court refused to say that. High Court had a prolonged hearing. Kerala High Court had a prolonged hearing. High Court clearly said, those who want to watch the movie, let them watch. Those who don't want to watch, don't let them watch. You did it because of appeasing Muslims.
Okay, one final word. Babul Supriyo, I have to wrap up. No, Babul Supriyo, I think the point he was asking is Supreme Court heard the matter, they refused to give a stay. Kerala High Court had a detailed hearing on that matter, they refused to give a stay. If they have decided that this movie is not a threat to society, then why should the Chief Minister or the state government decide otherwise?
I'm sorry, the Supreme Court or the High Court did not say that. They said the Supreme Court or the courts should abstain from getting into banning films. Let me educate my BJP counterpart. The Supreme Court or the High Court did not say that you cannot stop the they said that the courts should stay away from randomly banning films. That's exactly what the Supreme Court said, because there is a censor body, there is a government who is responsible. They're elected by the people. If they think that this can create unrest in the life BJP did with BBC, that was about one state. There were some acts during that period, yet they stopped it. If there is so much of goodwill, it is about one sarkar, a few particular people. If there is so much of goodwill, let the people watch it.
All right.
Here there is no question of the filmmaker or anyone.
The people are
time is up. Time is up on debate one. I want to thank both Babul Supriyo and, of course, Ajay Alok for joining us. We'll see how this story plays out. Like I said, for now, one thing seems to be clear, that at least outside of Kerala, this movie seems to be doing well commercially at the box office. How far it will go